one contest following dealing with that groin injury. Many people say Lakers are about to do some kind of big deal. It's every night we're talking about all these different things that might or might not happen. LeBron in pregame was asked, how are you guys dealing with the rumors?
Right now, this is who we have, and this is my group, and this is the group I'm trying to lead to go out there and win ball games, and that's all I've ever done. I've had teammates every year be a part of trade deadline discussions and things of that nature, and we've always figured out a way to just shield that away and just play the game.
All right, here's how the ones who are here did. Here we go against Lakers against the Pacers. Brandon Ingram coming to the rack. What happened here? Foul, goes to the free throw line, and then check it out. The Pacers know about the trades.
Or is that just fans?
Yeah, I heard it. I've still made the free throws. I mean, I've been through and heard way worse things than that in my life.
That's just fans being fans, and if you let that bother you, you're in the wrong sport.
Yeah, fans in every stadium have that thing down now. Second quarter, Lakers down 11. LeBron, Kyle Kuzma. What's he doing with the ball? Uh-oh. Didn't work out. Didn't communicate well with Tyson Chandler, so that's a turnover. Next Pacers possession, Aaron Holiday. This is just Nate McMenamin basketball. Launch a three, so the Pacers taking advantage of some of those mistakes. Lakers down big. Zubac is coming. Miles Turner resists. Knocks that thing away. And at the other end, they don't play the good D, and Turner launches a three. Next Pacers possession. Pacers had scored 18 points off Lakers turnovers in the first half, led the Lakers by 23. Now let's go back in time, a non-linear highlight. This also happened in the first half. LeBron to the rack, big dunk plus the foul. All right, now forward in time. Did it carry over to the third quarter? LeBron had 13 points, 5 turnovers, though, in the first half. LeBron coming. Kuzma baseline. Turner. The resistance remains strong, and the Pacers are out and running. Darren Collison. Light a three from the corner. Nice sequence for the Pacers. Huge block from Turner. Looks like Kuzma had the angle. And the Lakers are struggling here. A few possessions later, Pacers just doing math. Turner, that's easy. He had 22. LeBron had 18. Lakers did not keep it 100. They give up 136. LeBron, tell us about it.
Turnovers. This team is in the tops of the league of points off turnovers, and that was it tonight. They had 33 points off our 19 turnovers, and that's from the beginning of the game. You can't play from behind like that.
I think right off the jump, they hit us in the mouth, and we just never responded, and just kind of got knocked out. And that's why you see the score how it was.
It's basketball, and we do this every day for a living. So some days we might have an off day. We're all humans, so I don't know what was going on in everyone's head, but we just know that we have to be better on any given night that we go out and step on the basketball floor.
There's a million excuses that we can come up with: the travel, the first game coming across the country, all the trade, all everything else. But bottom line, we have to be better, and we will be. They shot the heck out of the ball, 50-something% from threes. You're not going to beat a team on most nights shooting that well anyway. But there's a lot of things that we didn't do with enough energy tonight.
So LeBron and the Lakers lost by 42. That's the largest loss in any game LeBron has played in his career. Previous worst loss, 35-point losses to the Warriors in 2017 and the Pistons way back in 2007.
Dave McMenamin is back in the Eastern Conference, but he's covering the Lakers. Anthony Davis did not play for LA tonight, mostly because he's still a Pelican, but LeBron did. Dave, how's you responding to all of this trade deadline stuff as it approaches, and it seems to be distracting the ball club?
Yeah, I had a source tell me tonight in the locker room that probably the only 2 players on this roster right now that aren't affected by the trade talk that's going on are LeBron James and Rajon Rondo. And Rondo is actually one of the names that has been included in all the trade talk that we've heard ever since Anthony Davis's trade request went public just about 2 weeks ago. So it's been a wild time for this team. Obviously, it started to deteriorate on the court. They blew a second-half lead in Golden State against the Warriors over the weekend, and then there was some back and forth between JaVale McGee and Michael Beasley and Coach Luke Walton in the locker room afterwards. Tonight, they never had any fight whatsoever, and it wasn't just what you heard in the locker room afterwards. It's what you saw on the court. I mean, you saw LeBron James at one point being totally isolated on the bench from his teammates with 3 empty chairs in between him and his next teammate while they were trailing by 40-plus points in the fourth quarter. You saw Lance Stevenson and Mo Wagner go up for the same rebound and knock into one another, and Mo Wagner's laying on the floor like he's been shot, and no teammate goes up to pick him up. Clearly, this is weighing on this Lakers team right now, and they don't have the margin for error to blow games like this. If they want to make the playoffs, you got to beat an Indiana team that's missing Victor Oladipo and was 1-4 in their last 5 games coming into tonight, and just played last night on the first night of a back-to-back in New Orleans. You got to win games like this, and the trade deadline can't come soon enough. Obviously, they'd love to get Anthony Davis, but they'd also love to just be able to move on from this uncertainty and try to get back to playing winning basketball.
Yeah, they fall to 27-27. You lose by 42, that'll wound you a little bit, but how is LeBron feeling physically, sort of his second game back as they ease him back from the Christmas Day groin injury?
Yeah, I spent some time in the locker room after the game, and he said tomorrow's going to be really telling for me. He was pleased the way he was able to do a little bit more physically in Game 2 versus Game 1. Obviously, we saw the dunk he had on Miles Turner. I also tell you that he knew that he was 2 points away from 32,000 points at that point of his career when he went up for that dunk. So trying to make some sort of statement in a lost night, of course. But he's saying every day, every rehab session, every stretching out session is going to matter up to this point. And actually, if you were watching the game tonight, he was still back in the locker room getting stretched out until about 20 seconds before tip-off. Because he's told me that if he's standing around, he gets tight pretty quickly. And so that's going to be his routine moving forward. When they do the anthem, when they do the starting lineups announced, he's in the back getting stretched out, trying to keep his body as limber as possible so he can be ready to go when the ball actually goes up into the air.
Should be noted they rallied a little bit late to make that a 14-possession game. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well, is help on the way for LBJ in L.A.? Woj has the latest on the trade talks with Anthony Davis. That's still to come on SportsCenter.
All right, the Orlando Magic against the old Sonics franchise here. They're playing these games down in Oklahoma City now. Paul George just writing down numbers later, 38.3 per game in the last 4, and there's a bucket there. Thunder down by 1. Halfway through the second, Thunder down 9. George light at 3. Thunder trailing by 6 still. Under 5 minutes to go in the second. George sets the back screen. Russell Westbrook. George, they're working it together. George had a game-high 18 points in the first half. Now Thunder down 11 in the third. Concentrating on George because he's just still putting in buckets. Thunder down by 8. Thunder trailing 7 here. Westbrook, nobody wants him. Takes it to the cup. It's a 5-point game. Now Westbrook to Dennis Schroeder. Had a big game just the other night. I think we were working that night together. Dennis Schroeder had like 24 and a quarter. Thunder leading by 1. Maybe it wasn't you. Steven Adams playing the D. Westbrook the rebound. Venmos to Adams. So most games here, 15 points, 15 rebounds, 15 assists in NBA history. The Big O at 14, Wilt 8, Russell 7. That's according to Elias. Thunder somehow in the lead now. George, transition. People all up in his life, still makes it fall. He goes for 39, 8 rebounds. Westbrook got it 16, and the Thunder come back to win it by 10. So Paul George, been going to town in the last 10 games. Second in scoring to James Harden, leads the NBA in 3-pointers. Let's not forget the defense. He's tied for second in steals, trailing only Harden as well. John, do you have any next-gen or maybe second spectrum material?
I don't want to make it sound like you left some things out, but I do, about George and how exceptional he's been, not just in the last 10, but all season long. Ranks in the top 5 in scoring, thanks in large part to his success beyond the arc. According to Second Spectrum, there you go, George shooting 42% on off-the-dribble threes this season, second best in the NBA. Interesting side note, teammate Russell Westbrook actually ranks last in those types of shots. As for Russ, he's deferring a bit to George, end-of-game situations. Since the first of the year, George has scored the second most points in clutch time, which is defined as a score within 5 points, 5 minutes to play. The only guy with more of those points, James Harden. And while George has been having a career season offense, let's not forget the defense. The effort plays, leads the NBA in steals per game. That's hustling. Leads the league in loose ball recoveries, and has recorded the second most deflections this season. That's just all around playing, even if it's not a triple-double in the box. All right, Lakers got crushed in Indy tonight. If help is on the way, it doesn't look like it'll be there by the NBA's trade deadline Thursday at 3 o'clock. Anthony Davis remains a Pelican. Lakers feel like they're the only ones bidding here and the only ones talking. New Orleans reportedly wants a historic number of draft picks, like 4 firsts and 4 seconds. Lakers, by the way, they hear all this talk.
I know it has to be tough on a lot of our guys, especially our young guys. Right now they've just never been a part of it, and they're hearing it every single day. And I know that worst thing that you can do right now is be on social media. And I know all young guys love social media.
Rod talked about the best thing to do would probably be just to stay off social media. Have you taken any steps like that?
Definitely, but it doesn't really matter because it's everywhere. It doesn't matter. So.
Do you think collectively this group is expecting?
Maybe I should bird box. That might help. Just wear a head bandana somewhere. Just do that.
First, I don't really care about it. I think y'all put more speculation on the trade deadline than anybody else. I think I'm just here to play basketball. I can only control what I control. Every time that I step out on the basketball floor, I feel like I know what I can do. I know my worth, and I know everything on the basketball floor that I can do.
So you're not distracted by all the stuff?
By what?
Like everything, rumors?
I just said it like 4 or 5 questions. I'm not distracted. I'm playing basketball.
Sound like there's a load there, and guys, some of them trying to make light of what's going on. Adrian Wojnarowski here, he knows all this stuff. He's reported it. So let's hear the Lakers. They're trying to get a deal done, but are they out? Are they on hold? Are they holding back? Where's their strategy now?
Well, Magic Johnson talked to Dell Demps, New Orleans GM, today and wanted an answer on the Lakers' most recent bid. And he told we're not ready to do that deal. But New Orleans has not countered. And they've essentially left it to the Lakers to keep adding to the offer until something might satisfy them. And essentially what the Lakers said today was, we're not bidding against ourselves anymore. We want you to be a part of the process. Well, New Orleans hasn't chosen yet to do that. They didn't talk tonight. And so, the trade deadline is Thursday at 3, and the Pelicans are behaving as if they are prepared to go into the offseason with Anthony Davis and move past the trade deadline. But again, deadlines sometimes force teams and organizations to act differently.
Right.
We're getting closer.
Yeah, that's why they call them deadlines. Sometimes get moving. Otherwise, they would have more suitors, obviously, to look for him if they get to the summer. Davis listed as questionable for tomorrow against the Bulls. Woj, thanks, Pete.
Come on, guys. It's not rocket science. I would love to play with a lot of great players. That's just who I am.
Great look by James. Davis for a two-hand jam. James to the basket. James. Alley-oop, and Davis will put it down.
Just over an hour ago, LeBron arriving for tonight's game against the Pacers in Indy. He missed Saturday's game against the Warriors, but is probable for tonight with the groin. As for that 6'10 All-Star elephant in the room whose nickname is the Brow, what do you think, Bron, about the rumors?
I kind of tend not to play much fantasy basketball, and that's just how I've always been. It's something to occur with our team, no matter if it's him or if it's somebody else throughout the trade deadline, we will approach it then. But right now, this is the group that we have, and we're missing the key point of our team right now with Zoe being out. So we have to win ball games.
With less than 48 hours before the deadline, the Lakers are trying to sweeten the pot for Anthony Davis. They've added Josh Hart and Ivica Zubac to a package that already includes Lonzo, Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, and 2 first-round draft picks. Scoop Jackson on the Lakers' pursuit of AD and what it would mean if Magic could pull out this assist, throwing style.
You gotta love this. A basketball version of Game of Thrones in play for one player. The player. One that could change the entire landscape of the game. AD.
New Orleans all-world Anthony Davis.
He is an MVP type player every year.
And if he miraculously finds his way to 2 other letters, L.A. Davis's push to exit New Orleans puts us at the intersection of power and panic. The Lakers hoping the Pelicans panic on what they may not get elsewhere.
The Lakers, it might be Anthony Davis or nothing.
While the Pelicans hope the Lakers push the panic button by offering everyone but LeBron to get Davis in LA while he's still there.
That's what Magic, his mandate was to bring back a championship to LA. And the way to do that is to get Anthony Davis.
And panic is a game only the smartest of them all play well. Who got the power?
Down the low, and a tomahawk right hand dunk for Anthony Davis.
If the Lakers are able to convince the Pelicans that a max value move can only happen now, then we totally underestimated the true magic in Magic. He already handed LeBron the keys.
Here comes LeBron!
Now if he can hand AD the crown, he will elevate himself to a place in Laker lore and NBA history higher than the throne he already sits on, while changing the course of the NBA's future at the same time.
As promised, Woj is back, and yeah, this is where things get more interesting as we are just under 48 hours from the trade deadline. Where do things stand right now with Anthony Davis in the market?
A lot of posturing, a lot of leveraging going on between New Orleans and the Lakers. The Lakers essentially sent a message today that they want to stop bidding against themselves. They want New Orleans to counter their offer, and they don't want to have to raise their offer again without getting some feedback from the Pelicans. This is going to go back and forth here until Thursday at 3 p.m. But, you know, listen, the Lakers still want at Anthony Davis. New Orleans' threshold for a deal, as we knew it would be, is extremely high.
It's the chess match. It's a game within the game. There are also questions concerning when Davis will return to the court, coming back from a sprained finger injury. Take a listen to what Pelicans head coach Alvin Gentry had to say prior to yesterday's game against the Pacers.
He's been cleared to practice, yeah. So he'll practice.
So where does that leave you? I mean, has a decision still not been made as far as whether he'll play when he's back?
He's been cleared to practice.
But not cleared to play.
He's been cleared to practice.
I mean, is that a decision that you...
I don't make those decisions. I was told that he's cleared to practice. That's what I know.
Alvin's one of the great sound bites in the NBA. Davis listed as questionable for tomorrow's game against the Bulls in his hometown. If he doesn't get traded in the next 2 days, what do you expect from the Pelicans on how they're going to handle his minutes?
They're still discussing that. Now, Anthony Davis, his agent Rich Paul, have said that they're going to play. They expect, if there's no trade, that they're going to honor the contract, you know, continue to play for the Pelicans for the rest of the season. The organization, I think, in fact, it still is a discussion there about how they would handle it. You know, Thursday at 3:01 p.m., if he's not traded, that will be the next story in this saga, is how they're going to handle him these last couple months. If he's going to stay, do they want him to get injured? Do they want to put him in peril and perhaps lose value in a trade? That's a conversation they're having in New Orleans.
It's your greatest asset. And we're talking about a team also in the bottom 10 of the standings, also thinking about the lottery long-term here, Woj. Thank you.
Thinking about the lottery, absolutely.